Welcome to Volume 4 of Grassroots to Bluegrass. On this tape, you'll once again witness the importance of the influence of the family in bluegrass music as Mike Seeger tells tales of Sonny and Bobby Osborne's father, and Del McCoury sings, backed by a band that includes his two sons.
We've got a young fella here that I was very pleased. He lives up in Virginia now, around Lexington, I believe. But he's quite a stylist and has done a lot to preserve the old-time country music. And I first ran into him at the Newport Folk Festival, I believe. Am I right, Mike? Back maybe about 63 or something. I'm referring to Mike Seeger. And Mike
First time I remember you, Mac, is Nerva Ranch with
really?
Eddie Adcock. Actually.
Very well. Yeah, I was working for Eddie at that time, I remember.
Eddie Adcock with Mac Wiseman.
Yeah,
yes.
thank you, Mike. That's good.
Yeah, I paid you good, don't forget that. That must have been about 83, right? 1983, back when Mac and I was 14.
Yes, it's 38 maybe.
Tell us the story, or just talk to the folks a little bit, Mike. I know you've always got interesting things to say. He's going to do a little picking for us, too.
Well, I guess my story is a little bit different than anybody else's, really. I'm from the suburbs of Washington, D.C. You hear a lot about it these days. And my folks didn't want to have a radio in the house, just the reverse of most people. Mm-hmm. Because they didn't want me listening to Frank Sinatra and Bing Crosby and all those folks. They wanted my music to be more old time because they loved folk song, but the way back type of folk song. Mm-hmm. So I didn't have a radio until the late 40s, and when I did get a radio, I discovered the local country music broadcast, and I heard that Lester and Earl were going to be up near my home in about 1952. And when I went out and heard it was Lester and Earl and Curly Smith. Maybe you remember him.
I did.
Because you were over in Baltimore. I listened to you on the radio on WBMD. Mm-hmm. And it was a powerful experience for me to hear them for the first time. It was absolutely amazing for me, a city boy, never having heard that kind of country music, which was kind of new then anyway. Yeah. And so I got to go into Nerva Ranch, where I met a lot of you all, actually. Bobby, Sonny, J.D., Eddie, and Mac, of course, and Lester and Earl. And I really wanted to try to get that music in front of the people up around in my country who hadn't heard it before. That and old-time music, because I was reared basically with recordings of old-time music. So sometimes I'd go and visit some of the old-time people in that area. That's when I met your dad, Patsy. Because although I'd lived in Washington, in the area all my life, I didn't know that he was there until the mid-50s.
Well, he wasn't saying loud enough, was he?
And it was wonderful to go visit him and some of the other old-timers. And eventually, I went to visit Bobby and Sonny's father and mother in Dayton. And got to know him just on one visit. I say that to say this, is that a lot of this of bluegrass comes from the old-time type of music. Now, whether they were trying to get away from old-time or whether they were just building on it is something we can continue to talk about. But during that evening, he played the banjo and the fiddle. I think he played a little on the guitar. And he played a tune on the Jew's harp. And I thought I'd just give you a real big change of pace here and play you a tune on the Jew's harp. Because back in the old days, before radio, it was the easiest thing to play. And then the radio came along, it was a little easier to play. And now...
Did get keys.
How do you like my K's?
First Jew's harp case I ever saw.
Yes, sir. In no way. Now, it only has one note. and that's it. It's the key of F, but I think I probably better do this because it's not concert F, you see. And along the top of it, you have another note, hopefully, and you have to tell folks what you're going to play on it, because they might, they might try to tell you what to do with the instrument otherwise. So, just like y'all were saying, you know.
Oh, it's been a long time since I heard one of those, Mike.
I'd like to thank you all for one of the most entertaining days of my life ever since I saw Josh and Jake back in the 60s, and also continuing education. It's just wonderful to hear you all talking and singing so good.
Thank you, Mike. I think we ought to get you to explain that other instrument you have there. It was on my desk when I came in, and looked like something I might have grown last year and stuck a deck in.
Mac, could I say something right here?
Please do.
What you just did there with that and mentioned our father, he left this world in 1981, and you can't even begin to realize the memories that you just brought back. I mean, you just can't believe. You can't believe. And now, remember I talked to you about his clawhammer banjo playing, and that we were looking for that one particular tune just about 4, 5, 6 months ago.
Right.
Well, I don't know if you know the end of this or not. We have a new CD out. It's called Hyden, which is our hometown. And
I've heard.
in 1966 or thereabouts, Bobby went to his house and took a tape recorder, and he got about 20 minutes of him playing the clawhammer, the banjo.
Great.
And to preface that a little bit, I had called Mike because we were looking for just anything with our father playing clawhammer banjo on it, and we couldn't find anything. And I knew that Michael had been to his house, and I called Mike and asked if he had taped anything, and he said no, he didn't. But he remembered the things that he had played and done, but he hadn't taped it. Well, in the meantime, Bobby has 1,000 reel-to-reel tapes, probably, and he finally located the last box that he looked into. He found this tape with our father playing the clawhammer on it. And the first song that Bobby ever sang on the radio ever was the old song Ruby, Honey, You Mad at Your Man, the old Cousin Emmy song. And Emmy used a different kind of tuning on that, and I still can't figure it exactly out. And she played it, I think, in B flat. Well, we always did it in D. And the last tune on that tape that Bobby had, of all things, would be Ruby. He played it through 3 times, tuned down like that. So what we did was we put him on the record. He starts it, and then we tuned our stuff and played with him, and Bobby sang it in that key. So he's on, our dad's on that record. But the Jew's harp, I had forgotten that he played that, and he did. And the fiddle, of course, he played the fiddle too. But that really, really, really brought back some strong memories, and I appreciate that so much. Really do.
Thank you, Sonny.
That's all.
We had a wonderful evening's visit, and I would have loved to have had more.
He was a wonderful man, and he liked you a great deal. He talked about that for years after you were there. He would talk about that on occasion, and I wanted you to know that, though.
Mike has been around collecting things and bringing back memories for a great many people, but he brought back a whole lot for me because he went to our home in Carmody Hills, Maryland, when the family lived there, and he recorded Mommy playing the drop thumb banjo, and Daddy played. And then, of all things, we had our grandmother's old pump organ, and now Mike had recorded her playing the pump organ, and that I'm so proud to have it. Thank you, Mike.
Other thing Mike was involved in, weren't you responsible for getting recorded? Was it the very first or one of the first Bluegrass LPs? You went around the country recording a lot of people, like Earl Scruggs' brothers, one that comes to mind, and different people, American Banjo Scruggs style.
Well, that was just an accident of technology, really. No great forethought on my part.
Hey, Mike, you came to my house and asked me to play you one on the Juice harp to put on a record. What'd you ever do with that? Throw it out?
Well, it's in the archive.
He also recorded The First Country Gentleman, where I was involved.
Yes, I remember that well. That was a lot of fun. I think I played auto harp too, which is not a bluegrass instrument, is it, really? But on Freedom Bell. Well, I loved the bluegrass before it was bluegrass, and while it became bluegrass, and after it became bluegrass back in the 50s.
Incidentally, our sister wrote Freedom Bell. Did you know that?
I love that song, and
New
the way you
Freedom
all
Bell,
sang
yeah.
it was
Yeah, she did.
amazing, wonderful.
It was written by an Osborne lady that y'all are no kin to, is that right?
It's our sister.
Oh, it is your sister?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Oh, well, who lied to me?
Small world.
Mike, let us hear one on that
It was your sister.
newfangled banjo you got there.
That's,
On this whatever it is.
Yeah. What is that, a gourd?
Oh, yeah, this is a basket gourd. This is a banjo that's banger. A lot of, you hear people say banger.
Yeah.
Well, that's close to the old African name for this. And this is kind of like some of the ones that came over from Africa in the 1700s.
Good Lord.
It's a basket gourd and these high-tech tensioning gadgets here. You don't have to have a wrench for this. No. And it's got skin and lamb gut strings and no frets. So you can, if you can, you can sing you can play what you sing. That one, yeah, perfect. They don't make a tuner for these.
Did they have a fifth string on them when they came over from Africa?
They had a short string.
A short string.
They had as many strings as they could figure out how to
get on.
get, Because you didn't have Martin Gord banjo dealers in those days. No, and then the Dario hadn't been around by then or anything. In the early days of bluegrass, as you all know, a lot of you, especially the Stanley Brothers, they'd bring around some of the old-time artists with them. The first man who recorded a fiddle tune from Virginia, Fiddlin' Powers was one of them, and another was Tom Ashley, and he played a tune, The Cuckoo Bird, and I thought I'd do that with the banjo. He didn't do it on a gourd, but it was kind of like this. It's the old English song with the banjo. Gonna build me log cabin on the mountain so I can see Willie as she goes riding by. Oh, the cuckoo, she's a fine bird. Don't you warble as she flies. She never hollers cuckoo to the 4th day of July. Your parents don't like me. They say I'm too poor. They say I'm not worthy for to enter on your door. Often I wonder why women love men, but then I wonder why men love them. I'm going to the coal field. I'm gonna dig coal. I'll bring back more money than your little apron can hold. Oh, Thank you, folks.
Mac, did you know that we had Bobby and I recorded the Cuckoo Bird about 1964 or 65, and I never knew where that song came from. We were playing a club in Dayton one night, and this old boy wandered in. He just kind of wandered in out of the rain, and he said he had a song he wanted us to hear. And when we got through, we all stood out in the middle of the street, and Bobby wrote the words down on one of those cardboards that they used to put in white shirts when you get them laundered. Yeah, he wrote the words down on that, and it was the Cuckoo Bird, and we recorded it about 3 or 4 weeks after that, and it was a good record for us here, but it was a very good record for us in England, I understand. And I noticed in that what you just sang there, we did 2 of those verses about like that. The rest of it was foreign, but 2 of those verses you did. But it was a good song. Where'd you get it from?
I got that mostly from Tom Ashley, who used to travel sometimes with the Stanley Brothers back in the 50s. And some of the verses come from white, come from black, too. That last verse comes from a black guy near Roanoke, Virginia, because it was sung by old-time banjo players, both white and black.
So we could have actually put our name on that, couldn't we?
I thought you did. I thought you did.
And Mac, and if Mac didn't have it already, he could have published it.
Well, you'd have found about a half dozen or a dozen in front of you, actually.
I imagine so, yeah. Well, we got it anyway, so.
Sonny, you might be interested to know that Tom Ashley actually did a tour of England before you actually put your recording of that out, and he sang it all over England, and that was probably one of the reasons that it was so successful.
I never knew, but isn't that funny how all this comes together?
While we're talking about Tom Ashley, when I was first in Bristol there, I mentioned earlier in 47, Tom was from over Shounds, Tennessee.
That's right.
And he worked blackface with me, and we did a lot of comedy back and forth, from the old medicine show days and such as that.
My God.
And I didn't see him again for years. I kept the folk craze came along in the early 60s, and I kept hearing about this Clarence Ashley. And I didn't put it together until we went to Newport in 63, and there was Tom Ashley. The guy I knew as Tom Ashley. He was up there going by the name of Clarence, you see.
Well,
Which was really his name, Clarence Ashley, see. But,
Was he any relation to John Ashley from Virginia?
I don't
Fiddle player?
believe so.
Was it?
That's Ashby.
Oh,
Yeah,
Ashley,
yeah.
okay.
I shouldn't ask you what year that was, Mac, but I'd like to know.
47,
Good God.
1947, when that station first opened. I left Monty O'Day in Knoxville and went up there. Stanley Brothers were on the show, and a local fellow named Curly King and myself had the Farming Fun Time show. You fellows were over at the other station, WFHG, at that time, were you not, Jim and Jesse? Yeah. That's when I first remember meeting you fellas. Yeah. Oz, why don't you tell us the story?
I don't know many.
You don't know many?
I'll tell you one about the little boy sitting on the curb out there crying. You see him?
No, I didn't see him.
Oh, Lord, he was crying like his little heart was going to break.
Oh.
I went to him and I said, Sonny boy, what you crying for? He said, I'm crying because I can't do what the big boys do. I sat down and cried with him right there.
Yeah. Welcome to the club. Hey, Lordy. Everybody here, I think, has mentioned what an influence the Grand Ole Opry had on them and what they'd have to conserve the wet cell batteries so they all during the week so they could hear the Opry on Saturday night. And it was a similar situation where I was raised up there in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. We listened to Lowell Thomas on the news and the Grand Ole Opry on Saturday night, and that was it, Well, my dad was pretty good inventor. He finally put a couple old buggy axles together and put a fan on top of it and a charger, so he had him a charger. He had 2 batteries. He charged one while we was running the other one down, so we listened to a lot of radio. Hey, Lordy. But I was raised in a good family during Depression times, and things were kind of slow, but had no reason to want to leave home. But every Saturday night, I'd listen to the Grand Ole Opry, and when Roy Acuff would sign off, he'd bid them farewell and stuff like that, and Oz would do that slide on the dobro, and he'd go in to carry me back to the mountains. And I never heard it that I didn't want to run away from home. I didn't know where I wanted to go, but I wanted to go somewhere. I ain't kidding you, man. I knew they had to There was a magnet in it somewhere. And many years later, never thought I'd have the opportunity to meet him, let alone to say hi. I had the opportunity to record this with Oz on an album of his a couple of years ago.
Sure did.
It's our most requested number, isn't it, Oz?
Yeah.
Kick it off and we'll do it to
All
him.
right.
I was a wild, careless youngster, longing to roam from the stars. I left my home in the mountains. I broke my poor darling's heart. So carry me back to the mountain beneath those southern skies. Lay me to rest in the mountain. That's where my sweet heart lies. I get so lonesome and weary, no matter where I roam. So carry me back to the mountain, back to my home, sweet home. I like that. I get so lonesome and weary, no matter where I roam. So carry me back to the mountain, back to my home, sweet home. Oh. Thank you, Oz. Thank you very much. We liked that so much that not long ago we went in and cut 10 more, didn't we, Oz? So we got a whole album of that coming out for too long.
You know, Mac, I would just want to say that in January of this year, in 1999, Oswald celebrated 60 years as part of the Grand Ole Opry family. Isn't that great?
Well, that's one record nobody had ever touched, I'll tell you.
What happened to me when we was recording the Precious Jewel?
Yes.
What year was that, Eddie?
1940, I believe.
1940. Well, I had asthma awful bad then.
Is that what you call it?
Oh, it's what I call it, asthma. And we went in the studio and was trying to make that album.
It was high, wasn't it?
Oh, Lord, it was high. And I got so I couldn't hit the notes right when I ought to, you know.
Yeah.
I said, now you wait just a minute. I'll be back. I went down to the liquor store, got a quart, brought it back, and I drank about half of it, and I said, now let's try it.
Better known as a dust cutter, huh?
That's right.
Oswald, I believe you said most of the time when you recorded with Roy Acuff that he did almost everything in one take, didn't he?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Didn't they call him One Take Ake?
At one take 8, yeah.
That's what they call him.
He went to the studio and said, we're going to do this, we'll do it one time. That's it.
Yeah.
So we had to know it. We had to know it.
Well, of course, being in the band, you were pretty well prepared, but that's great to do that because you can't get the same feeling by doing the song over and over again, the
No.
interpretation. But Uncle Art Satherley told me that long before I ever met you fellas. Said, if you want to get Acuff, you better get it the first time around, you know, because he's not going to do it over a whole lot for you.
No, sir. He
Yeah,
said,
Lordy.
whenever you do one twice, you lose some part of the song.
Mm-hmm.
Usually the rundown.
That's right. Oz, you're an institution. Yes, sir. One that we'd all like to be committed to. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't going to tell you about my hat, because that's a good hat.
Where'd you get that hat, Oz?
I ain't going to tell you. No, sir.
He's bound to have been a slow dude, though, I tell you.
He was slow.
You got over at Knoxville, University of Tennessee parking lot.
I know where he got it.
That's a pretty hat, Oz.
Oh, we're going to have to get these stories backstage. That's
Tell him
right.
where you got that hat.
No, John, I ain't going to tell him. It all over then.
Yeah.
They'd all be out there looking for one of them.
That's right.
Oh, well, Charlie Louvin's been resting entirely too much. I'm telling you, we'll get something out of Charlie. Charlie, you bound to. You stump. Oh, is that right? Give Charlie a microphone there. We don't want to miss this. We'll get you a stand. Yeah.
I don't know.
What did you ask me there, John, while Charlie's getting set up back here?
You sung for me one time. Well, actually, you made a record, saddest song I ever heard in my whole life.
Was it the way I did it? Or was it the sad
No,
song?
no, it was the song itself. No, so it was.
That wasn't sad, that was pitiful.
That was,
Sad song
that
done
was that
pitiful bad.
that was that Just Outside song.
Just Outside?
Oh, that was the saddest thing I ever heard.
That is
in
a
my
pretty
life.
sad
Yeah.
song.
You know, while Charlie's getting ready, I want to ask somebody a question because we had a battery radio also, and we didn't listen to Lowell Thomas. We listened to Gabriel Heater and the News from New York, and his sponsor was Whiz, the best nickel candy there is. I bet you all don't remember that, but I do. Doggone it. And we listened to that and the Grand Ole Opry, of course, and it was a battery radio. But how'd they ever, when those batteries run down, what'd they do?
You have to take them to have them charged.
I don't
At the service
remember
station
him.
or whatever.
Yeah, at the service station, sure, Mac, that's right.
Down the
Yeah,
country.
is that where they service mules and horses and things? You know what I'm saying here?
I thought I was far back in the country, but I don't get that.
No,
Yeah.
there wasn't no service station. I mean, there wasn't anything. We lived on a creek.
I've had a lot of people.
How did they ever
What'd
charge?
they run the battery in if you didn't have nothing to put it in?
What was it?
Now the wet cell,
Mac, it was a radio.
the wet cell battery you could charge, but the dry cell batteries you replaced.
I've had a lot
That
of
was the
people tell
expensive
me
part.
around the country that used to listen to us that they would take the battery and set it on the oven door, and that would charge it. Now, I never did
Really?
experience that, but I've had numbers of people
I
tell
don't
me
remember.
that.
I don't remember him doing that though. Jess, Jim, do you guys remember how they charged the batteries from your guys' radio? You guys had one, Jess.
They put them in a car. They take the car, charge it up.
We didn't have a car. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
We find
It
somebody
was
that
either
did.
horses or mules
Yeah,
or
we had-
sleds or
well,
wagons.
Oh,
They couldn't get a car
we didn't have no
on
battery until we
sticks.
got a car.
Sonny, the secret is get one of those everlasting batteries.
Thanks a lot, Jim. I'll talk to Jesse next time.
Yeah.
Dale, what'd you say?
Yeah, that's the way my dad now, when we'd listen to the opera, on Saturday night, then on Sunday morning before we go to church, he'd have to take the battery and put it back in the car and then push the car off the hill and start it and then see it'd charge it up time we went to church and back. It'd be charged back up for next time,
Like I said, you had a car, though.
Well, while Sonny's trying to make us believe they didn't have no car to charge a battery, we had the first television in my part of the country back in the 30s, but we didn't have any electricity, see?
Yeah, we had some of that too, Mac. Yeah. How about let's let Charlie sing?
Time for Charlie Louvin, I believe. What you say, Bill?
Got a clear channel?
Sir?
You remember when they wanted to get a good clear channel, they drove an old steel rod in the ground, a ground wire. They drove it down in the ground and run a little wire out of the back of the radio and connected to that ground wire.
Yeah.
And drove it down the ground. That made it, give it a clear channel. It cleared it. You know how you used to get a lot of static with the old battery radios?
Yeah.
Well, my daddy took and drove a steel, just a metal rod down in the ground and run a wire up the radio and wrapped it around that there steel rod in the ground. Well, that made it clear.
You could hook it to a screen door, do just as good.
Yeah, as long as it's metal.
I think so, Mike.
You ready, Charlie? Get me out of this, Charlie. Hey, what you going to do to us?
Well, I'm going to allude to a couple of things that's been said lightly, and then I'd like to sing out a song.
Elude old.
I won't have no harmony on this song, so songs is without harmony is just a half of a song, so I'm going to do you half of a song. But I wanted to mention the fact that Jesse and I think, if I'm not badly mistaken, the first time I met Jesse was in the 24th Infantry Division in Korea.
Yeah, that's right.
And Jesse and I really had it rough in the war over there. Jesse baked donuts and made coffee and loaded it onto these big trucks that kind of looked like a bookmobile. And in the morning, if the Red Cross girls was able, they would come and get in this peddling truck, and they'd go out and take this coffee to the troops. Well, their eyes are so red all the time, you would think they stayed up all night making this coffee, but Jesse did that. And I worked where things was the stickiest. I was in the APO under the mail wagon. And there's fewer bullets on the mail wagon than any place else. So Jess and I had a little group over there.
Yeah, we was within 50 yards of each other, I think, for about a couple of months before we knew it.
That's true.
I knew it. I know a man come over there and one day and asked me if I knew somebody at the Grand Ole Opry named Loudermilk. And I said, no. And I frankly knew what he's talking about, but I didn't know you was over there. And he said they had a different name they used in the music business. And I said, it was Louvin? He said, yeah, that's what it is. He's over at the post office, 50 yards away. I didn't know that.
Well, it was nice to see Jess. It was nice to see a friend in Korea. And Jesse was going to get to come home before me.
Yeah.
Several, maybe as much as 6 or 8 months before me.
But when you started singing together, we had, like we had said, didn't have a tenor singer between you and me. So me and Charlie tried to figure out who's going to sing tenor. So we come up with a new sound, and that's when they laid their arms down and surrendered over there.
That's very true. But when I was 18 years old, that was in 1945. You couldn't get a job because the draft was still going. They said, boy, you won't have time to learn nothing. You'll be in the Army. They'll draft you. So I finally got fed up with that, and I joined the Army Air Force, and I stayed 16 months. And they gave anybody who was sick of it a chance to come home, and I was, so I went home. But they didn't say that you had to have 24 months, or you were subject to the draft again. So I got another greetings in 1952, and really enjoyed that place over there, I want to tell you. But when I found out our Senator Estes Kefauver passed a bill. If you had been in the Army twice, and on your second round, if you'd been in a year, and both of them added together would mount to 24 months, you was eligible for discharge. I found that out because I was searching for it.
Charlie?
I went over and told Jesse, I said, well, Jesse, I'm leaving tomorrow. And he thought I was pulling his leg because what'd you have, 3 more months to go?
3 weeks or something.
3 weeks to go. I said, so I'll tell the friends. He said, no, I'll beat you home. And I said, I'm leaving tomorrow. And I was glad to get rid of the whole thing. And I'll never be in the military again because they don't take one-armed guys.
One arm?
Yeah, they'd have to jerk one of mine off to get me back in. Yes, Miss Ramona.
Charlie, I wanted to ask you, did you say 1951 you were there?
I went in there at the tail end of 52.
Oh, Grandpa and I were all over Korea in 1951 playing for all the troops. We
Oh,
stayed over
well.
there 5 weeks, right along the front lines, and it was really an experience. I wouldn't do it today. I'd be scared to do it today, but
Well,
it was a merry.
we were stationed about 30 miles north of the 38th parallel.
We were all along the 38th parallel. Mary Click, a girl from Washington, D.C., and Connie B. Gay was the promoter that went over with us. But he didn't stay the 5 weeks. He came home early. He left Grandma.
I heard the people talking about Paul's tour over there, but thank God I missed that. I hadn't got there yet. So with the help of these pickers, they call them Duke's Mixters or Heinz. I guess you call them Heinz because some of them belongs to one guy and some of them belongs to another. And this is a total independent over here. I've known him since Mammoth Cave was just a molehill. And, buddy, if you'll kick this off, we'll try our best to sing it. It's a... Way out in the country where I used to live, Lordy, Lordy, what I wouldn't give to turn back the time and be a boy again and see the sun come up every morning. Quarter of a mile from the grocery store, cool bus ran within a mile of my door, and hearing distance of the cotton gin, a 30-minute walk to Ruby. Oh, I walked it in the moonlight. I walked it on a dark night, my rain or shine, this heart of mine craved Ruby's company. Oh, but I was a little too shy. Oh, and she said before I got the nerve to make my move, Ruby got away from me. In the moonlight, oh, I've walked it on a dark night, rain or shine, this heart of mine craved Ruby's company. Oh, but I was a little too shy, oh, and I almost cried before I got the nerve to make my move, Ruby got away from me. Thank you, we love y'all.
That's fine, Charlie. Fine. Was Ruby Song, that's the name of it?
You know, Mac, you were talking earlier about being in the Foggy Mountain Boys. Did you know Charlie was in a group called the Foggy Mountain Boys at one time?
No, didn't have the foggiest idea.
Tell that story, Charlie.
Hey, buddy, I'll tell you, I had some fun out of that. You know, when Lester and Earl had a little disagreement on that, who was going to get to call themselves the Foggy Mountain Boys, and neither one of them did, but I asked Lester one night what the big argument was about, because Ari and I and Bob Bell and two other guys were the Foggy Mountain Boys in Chattanooga in 1943 and got pictures to prove it. So I guess they worked it out. And I don't know about that Nashville Grass. Of course, Grass was pretty popular along about that time, so that's a good word.
There's a lot of that going on. The first band I had was the Country Boys, and Jimmy Dickens stole that. He called his band.
Jimmy's older than the Hills.
Yeah, but he didn't have a band back then. I had the name first, see. Of course, I didn't have a band when he started using it. Let's put it that way. I'm just being silly. Foggy Mountain Boys.
You remember back when we got the Foggy Mountain Boys together, we was trying to figure out a theme, and someone said, Earl, I believe, said, let's play the Foggy Mountain Top, one of the Carter family.
Yeah.
So we tried that thing a time or two, and it didn't work out at all for a theme. You remember that?
Yeah, I sure do. And incidentally, I think it'd be a little bit of trivia. When they first organized, we went to Danville, Virginia first for just a short while, and Jim Eames was with them just a few weeks. before they called me. And then I joined them in Hickory.
Yeah, we come to my house there,
Yeah,
and we
because
talked.
Jim-
That's the first time I saw you. I asked Lester, I said, who is that?
Jim had
we
the reason-
talked about getting a girl, and then decided since we was all married, that wouldn't be a good idea.
Boy.
We just thought we didn't want to get killed.
But the
Yeah,
reason
that-
they went to Hickory, Jim was married, had a job at the furniture store over there.
Yeah, I'm in the
And he
furniture
was a little reluctant to leave, that he found out for sure that Foggy Mountain deal was going to fly.
Yeah, because I'd just been through all that with Monroe. I'd been wanting to quit for a long
Yeah.
time, and I decided to. I had my finger in the furniture business I never intended to do the music always,
Yeah.
but I was a little reluctant to go. But after we got it together, I could tell we had something.
Right.
And when we got to
Well, we
Bristol,
went on the little
proved
station there at Hickory. It wasn't getting out of the roof upstairs, I don't think. But we played the big $20 houses, and I said, "Boys, let's go to Bristol. I know the territory." that's where we came in '48. Then. Yeah, because I'd been there the year before, see, with my own group, and.
George France, the manager back then, Mac.
Beg pardon?
Little George France. Did he ever pick the banjo with you?
No.
Or was it Ralph?
He's the
Mayo?
only one I missed, I think.
He was a
He
banjo.
must just been learning then.
He was playing with Ralph Mayo, I think.
Ralph Mayo, yeah, George France with
Yeah,
Ralph Mayo.
probably,
Yeah.
probably so.
Did he not record with you Crazy Blues, I think, with you?
George France?
Yeah, I think he did. I believe so.
No, he did.
Mac, we got to talk.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, Donnie Bryant would work with him.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I tell you, boy, picked with Mac, Alan Shelton.
Alan Shelton did Crazy
Didn't he
Blues?
pick with you for a while?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Medford.
Yeah.
Joe Medford was a classic song.
Yes, he was. Yes,
we
he
really
was.
enjoyed Mac because not only was he asset to the band and did extremely good singing, he in flat, and but he could also type. He's the only one in the bunch that had any knowledge, I reckon. But he's the only one who could type. And we kept you busy at typing national letters and stuff like that.
Well, it worked.
It worked. Whatever we did
Yeah.
worked.
Yeah,
Whether it was typing or what, it worked.
Yeah.
I don't think we ought to go any further without calling on Del McCoury. He must be sitting over there feeling like a red-headed stepchild. We hadn't said nothing to him today. Yeah.
Well, you know, Mac, I tell you what, I've enjoyed listening to all this. I'd just rather listen than talk. I never was too good at talking anyway, Mac.
Oh, can't tell me.
But I'll tell you what, I really appreciate all these folks here because I've heard all of them when I was growing up and been influenced by everybody here, you know, and it's really an honor to be here with everybody.
We're glad to have you, Del.
And you know, while Carlton Haney's here, you see, he's the one that got my band started. I had played with Bill Monroe like in 1963, all that year.
Yeah.
And, I'll back up a little. And then while I was with Bill, Carlton Haney come to Nashville. He come here a lot, you know. He had a lot of business here. But I was living in the Clarkson Hotel over on 7th Avenue. And so Carlton, I remember one night we'd played somewhere and got back in, and Carlton was talking to Bill Monroe about a Bluegrass festival, you know. And Bill Monroe said, "Shh, that won't work." You know, that was his word. Shh. He didn't say it, just, "Shh, that won't work." But anyway, Carlton made it work then a couple of years after that, you know. But that was the first time I heard about a Bluegrass festival. And then I was lucky enough to play in 1966 on, I wasn't booked on it, but Ralph Rensler, I asked Ralph if I could do a song on a late night show, and he said, sure. So it was me and Billy Baker and a little hippie boy named David Grisman. I don't know if you remember that guy or not. And we played a late night show there, and I know what I wanted to ask you, Carlton. I saw Bill Monroe the first time in 1950, in the summer of 1950. And he was playing a drive-in theater, you know, that played on top of the concession stand. And he introduced the fiddle player, Joe Meadows. And the banjo player was Joe Stewart, and he was playing comedy. He had his comedy clothes on. And Bessie Lee, and I never could remember the guitar player's name, so who do you reckon that would have been?
It was Jackie Phelps.
I don't know. He looked awful husky for Jackie, but probably was, though.
Phelps played with him about that time.
About that time,
Yeah.
like in the summertime of 1950.
Yeah.
And I never did think that Joe Meadows...
Ed Mayfield also played in there sometime.
Could have been.
No, Jimmy didn't start till, about 52, wasn't it?
No, he was in 49, 50.
Yeah, he took my place when I left.
That was Ed Mayfield.
Yeah, no, that would be, he's talking about Jimmy Martin, because that'd be the
It
summer
might,
of 1950.
might have been. Well, see, Phelps played right in there. I thought he played for a little short while when Lester left. I thought Phelps played a little while before you went to work with him.
Well, he may have, but Martin took over when I left.
He might have done that, but Jimmy Martin came when Mac left. And
right.
That was in 49, and he was there 50, and, the summer of 50, that'd be Jimmy Martin. Yeah.
I bet it was.
Jimmy was a little husky in this
Yeah,
area.
broad-shouldered, yeah, but I couldn't remember his name, but...
Was Red Taylor the fiddler, or do you know?
No, the fiddle player was Joe Meadows.
Oh, Joe Meadows.
And I asked people, if Joe Meadows ever played for Bill Monroe, and they said, no, he never did. And then I asked Joe, and Joe said, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
For a little while, I guess,
L.E. White played for Bill, first fiddler after the wreck, for just a short while.
I see.
And some don't know that. And then Red Taylor came back. And then Jimmy was the guitar player, and Rudy Lyle was the banjo player, and Charlie Klein was with him. And I met Melissa up in Danville, Virginia, at Clyde Moody's house. And after the wreck, she went up there because she was grieving so over her dad, they thought he was going to die,
Yeah.
And I started dating Melissa.
I didn't know that.
And that's how I met Bill Monroe. Without that wreck that he had in March of '53, I probably wouldn't have, we all wouldn't have been here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was a wreck in Delaware, wasn't it, Eddie, that created the Country Gentleman?
That was, it was in Maryland.
57.
Maryland, yeah, 57.
Without those two car wrecks, we wouldn't be here today. Isn't that awful?
No.
But it's happened. I met Melissa because he was in the hospital and they didn't want her up there with some other company that Bill was having.
Yeah.
And then he came up there, she was 19, and I was about 22. Then I came down here and spent 2 weeks out at the house, Jim, at the Rock House. And the grass was tall, and I mowed the grass. She got me a pair of your daddy's overall pants. And I mowed the yard, and I still got those overall pants. I took them home, and I still got them.
I've got something started.
And then I went back.
Sing us a song. Get us out of this.
Yeah, just sing, man.
All
We'll
right,
bury
let's see.
somebody here in a minute.
I know a lot of these guys over here at this backup band.
You know those boys in the
Yeah,
band?
I know
already?
them pretty well.
Got all of Dale's band back here, plus.
You mean Shootin' Woot?
Charlie Cushman and Gene Wooten and Buddy Spiker and Dale McCoury's band.
Well, I just finished recording an album, and I got to plug that. Let's see here. Don't matter. That's fine, I think. And we have a record label. We're on a record label, Kaylee, now, and I'd like to sing one of the songs that we have on our new record, which is not released yet. It won't be out till February. You boys remember when? February 9th. Who'd you say was on?
Oh.
Yeah, and Bobby Osborne sung one with me, and that was a highlight of my record, I'll tell you. Yes, he did. Bobby sung a little duet with me there, and he's my singing hero, that guy is. But I'll sing you a song that I wrote, and this song here is kind of
I got the publishing on it.
gives advice to you. Have the yeah, he might have the publishing on this. Mac Wiseman, I bet he does. Yeah, okay. This song here kind of gives.
You better look at your contract. He'll have half riders if you ain't careful.
It's matching the P2 over here, man.
Well, I'll tell you, this song's about young fellers, giving them advice about young girls. So here we go. nothing. My last speck of pride is gone, you see. She took me for a ride, and I'm honest. It's a ride I won't forget so easily. Took a 50-50 chance on love and lost it. I gambled on the bitter and the sweet. She flattened my wallet and my ego. This time around I feel that I've been beat. I'll go on trying and believing someday someone will come along again, someone understanding, true and honest, so I won't have to go through this again. Now boys, when you find love, I advise you, it's hard to find and harder yet to keep. Those pretty girls are thinking while you're sleeping. They have a plan for you that's nice and neat. Took a 50-50 chance on love and lost it. Gamble on the bitter and the sweet. She flattened my wallet and my ego. This time around I feel that I've been beat. Have a plan for you that's nice and neat. Turn your head, she'll knock you off of your feet.
All right.
All right, I'll
Yeah.
while I'm doing that now.
Yeah, that sounded mighty good. A while ago, we was talking about the early sessions in Bristol with the Carter family and Pop Stoneman and Jimmy Rogers. And was anybody else on those sessions, Pat, that you can recall?
I'm not quite sure.
Some fiddle player they mentioned. I forget now who they said. But anyhow,
Powers, fiddling Powers.
yes, right. Hartford. Tell me, Powers was a fiddle.
Fiddling Powers.
Fiddlin' Callan Powers.
Brother Oswald was.
Callan, C-O-W-A-N, Callan Powers.
Okay, fine. But anyhow, a group of fellows up there for a long time have been trying to get Bristol designated as the birthplace of country music. And just the last few months ago, you were on that board, am I right? Alliance there. But both houses of the Congress finally passed legislation, I believe it was Resolution 214 last fall. And Bristol is now legally the birthplace of country music. And I thought that was a bit of trivia that...
Well, March the 13th, they're having a big shindig over there, and we're going over. I think Jeanette and all of them are going, and the Stonemans, Donna, Jimmy, and myself are going over. We're going to play for the governors of both states.
That ought to put a stop to it right there.
Right there. Oh, hush. Hush.
No, I think that's wonderful representation, another generation of those original ones. Anybody coming from the Jimmy Rogers family?
I'm not sure. I think they invited Sonny. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's from down in Mississippi there.
I'm not sure.
But I
don't know what relation he is, but his name is Rogers.
Thought that was noteworthy. Dale, that sounded so good. I bet you can't do it again.
I couldn't. I'd forget the words for sure.
Hey, wish you'd do us another one while you're all cocked and primed there.
If time permits, I'd like to do a song that any of you folks remember Ola Bell Campbell or Ola Bell Reed, Alec and Ola Bell?
Yeah.
New River Ranch, yeah. Well, back in somewhere in the 60s, I guess, she had this song, High on the Mountain, and she sang it to me, and she said, I wish you'd record that and then do it up in your own fashion. So I said, well, I'll just do that. I needed that song anyway. And maybe I'll sing that, and we'll remember Ola Belle. She's not too good these days, but she wrote a lot of good songs, and I recorded several of them. This one is titled High on the Mountain. As I looked at the valleys down below, pale green just as far as I could see. As my memory returned, oh, how my heart did yearn for you and the day that used to be. On the mountain, oh, wind blowing free, thinking about the days that used to be. The years of my life has flown. Oh, I wonder if you ever think of me, or if time's blotted out your memory. As I listen to the breeze whisper gently through the trees, I'll always cherish what you meant to me. On the mountain, oh, wind blowing free, thinking about the days that used to be. Wondering where the years of my life has flown. About the days that used to be. On the mountain, oh, standing all alone, wondering where the years of my life has flown.
Oh, that's fine, Dale. Mighty fine, mighty fine.
Hey, Mac, can I say something? This is kind of dumb, really, but I want to say it. I was noticing Eddie's guitar over here. He's got a big feather hanging on it. And that brought me to mind something that happened to us in Canada. We were up doing a festival in Canada, and Doug Dillard was there on the show, you know, playing his banjo. And he had a fellow with him from California that played a flute. And on the flute, he had a long feather. Well, they were having the Miss Nude America contest up there somewhere. And they came out and wanted to know, would we come out and play for the nude contest? It was good pay, but they wanted you to do it nude. Okay. So we said no, and actually we ain't got nothing to show.
That tickles me.
But anyway, Doug says, we'll go. And they went, Doug and that flute player.
Yeah.
So Doug come back, and I said, what did you do? He said, I wore my banjo low, and he wore his feather low.
Let me just explain this real quick. A little girl out in Kansas, a little Indian girl by the name of, she calls herself Little Bird.
Little Bird.
Come up while I was playing in Kansas and hung this on my guitar, and I liked her a lot, and I just let it stay. And it's been on there, I guess, 4 or 5 years.
Well, that wouldn't have covered what they
Broken
needed
about
anyway.
Oh,
Somebody-
it's a pretty feather, Eddie. It's a pretty feather.
Somebody told me that one of the funniest things I ever saw was when Doug went to get on the stage. He'd been laying down in the grass, and somebody just mowed the lawn. And when he went up to get on the stage, he slipped and fell, and then he got back up, and he was all covered with little short pieces of grass all over his back end.
Speaking of that nudist deal you was talking about there, Wasn't it Roy that used to tell about you and him going out to Murfreesboro to the nudist colony?
Sure did.
Oh, Lord. How did that go?
Well, he invited me to go with him down to
the nudist colony.
Nudist colony, yeah.
Yeah, hold on.
They got a. It's a true story now. Yes, it is. They had a big high fence built around the place there, and we just looked through the knot hole and couldn't see a thing. So I got up on Roy's shoulder, and he said, "Hey, what are they? The girls or boys?" I said, "I can't tell. They ain't got no clothes on."
Hey, Mac.
Yes.
Mac. Speaking of nudist things, brings to mind a story. We were in, what is it, Vernon, New Jersey? What's the name of that place up there? What is it? Vernon Valley, New Jersey. Playing, no, I ain't making this up. This is a fact, son. There's a truth if I ever told it. And the Lewis family was on the show. It was a huge festival up there. Huge, big festival. Monroe was there, Bill, and I mean, and there was this group of people, and this is during the days of flashing, where people would flash you, you know what I'm saying about that? So I had my binoculars and was up on the stage and just kind of looking around, and it must have been 300 yards to the top of that hill. Well, there was an old boy standing just leaning up against a tree up there and didn't have a stitch on. He was just standing up like that. And Polly Lewis came up and she said, "What are you looking at?" I said, I'm just looking out to the people up there. Let me see. And she took his binoculars, and when she got to that guy, she just stopped like that. She said, "Uh-huh."
Hey, Lord.
Then Miggy wanted to look too, and we wouldn't let her look.
At Carlton Haney's festival, I don't know what year it was, that's when a lot of people were streaking, and
that's what I meant, streaking.
Yeah, we were there one Saturday night, and this guy, he decided, since at the time, you know, we were only one singing gospel music, you know, this guy decided he was going to streak on our show. And anybody ever went to Carlton Festival, the front of the stage didn't look like the back at all. You know, the front was, about 4 feet high, but the back there, it looked like the same thing if you're looking from the crowd, but at least, 15, 18 feet to the bottom. So that guy took off all his clothes right in the middle of our set, come up on the stage, he's gonna make a quick getaway, and when he went off the back, he sounded like Tarzan. They found him on the ground later, and everybody got to look at the streaker.
Ray Stevens had that song out.
Yeah.
They asked me one time if I could be anything in the music business that I wanted to be, what would it be? And I said, Polly Lewis's tambourine. That's what I'd like to be.
See you tomorrow, same time, same place.
Oh, hasn't this been an exciting day? Don't you feel like you've learned a lot of American music history? Why quit now? The fun's just begun. Let's move on to another day of facts, fun, and family as Volume 5 takes us into Day 2 of Grassroots to Bluegrass.